Hello, YouTube. Well, here comes the rare car video from me. Oh, I know, crickets. I know I'm not exciting. You don't have to rub it in. Anyway, this is the car I've been driving for at least a year. Before this particular Saab 9.5, I had the sedan version of this, which was also the 2005 model. I've driven Saabs since I started driving. They're excellent cars. At least they were. It's so sad that they're not around anymore because they made excellent cars. The cars are very safe. I found that out firsthand by getting sandwiched. If I was driving any other car, I would have had a broken back or a broken leg, I swear. These cars are just that safe. Now, my particular wagon here, you've seen a video of it before, it's the 9.5 wagon, 2005 9.5 wagon with the 2.3 turbo. And you really need the turbo in these Saabs to make them go because they don't have a whole lot of acceleration power. And yeah, it pretty much drives the same as my old Saab did, has the same engine and everything. So basically when I got this wagon to replace the sedan, it was basically felt like the same car. And I've really enjoyed driving this Saab. I'm really going to miss driving it. We've decided to retire it. We were going to do that anyway, but it was kind of hurried along by the fact that once it reached 100,000 miles, it basically started asking for money. Parts just started going bad right at that time. Mainly the throttle body is what eats up a big chunk of change, and it just doesn't make sense to repair that when we're trading it in anyway. So, it's really just not worth it to do that, so we're trading it in as is and getting another car, a car that you will see later in this video. But I just thought I'd take this moment to sort of commemorate the Saab cars I've driven over the years, because I don't know if this will be the last Saab I ever drive. It might well be. I've had sort of aspirations of getting a 900 turbo later on in life, just as a fun car to have. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but just in case it doesn't, this is sort of commemorating driving Saabs over the years and the Saab company. It's sad that these guys are not around anymore because they have made some of the safest cars in the world, next to Volvo. Having witnessed that firsthand, being sandwiched in my old sedan, I walked out with only whiplash. That was it. So, these cars are very, very safe. Very safe. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of these on the used market for years to come. And, there'll be a cult following and, be pretty popular cars on the used market. I mean, they're great cars, even if they have their quirks. Ain't nothing like a Saab. Saab will always have a special place in my heart, simply because I learned how to drive in this very car, actually. This is where I first learned how to drive. And of course, Saab's design. There you have it. One thing I won't miss is this stupid tape deck. This thing has been screwed up for a while since I've been using it. This radio, the audio system in these Saabs is not wonderful, but it does work. What I'm getting will be better than this. I've heard it. So when I test drove the new car, I heard it, and it's much better than this ever was. So, there you have it. And of course, you have that telltale thing of the key being down here. And Saab's origins of being an airplane manufacturer being evident in things up here, like this light here, in the seatbelt sign being up here. So, there are just certain things about Saabs that don't happen on other cars that probably won't ever happen again. Because Saab is unique. They were very unique. And I just feel fortunate to be part of that history, at least the tail end of that history, by driving some of the last cars they made. Not the very last model, but obviously the latter part of their existence. So, this is just to commemorate driving Saabs for about 5 years. I'm a little saddened by the Saab going away, But at the same time, I welcome what comes next. I welcome the new car because I like it better than the Saab already for many other reasons. But there's a certain quality about these Saabs that's just, they really have a character all their own, and that's what I'm gonna miss. I mean, there's things in this car that drive me crazy, but the character is what I'm gonna miss the most about this. So I've waffled on long enough about this. I think I will cut this short, and I will show you the new car once I bring it back. So there you have it, folks. Goodbye to the Saab. I salute you. Well, here it is, folks. My new car. Yes, I retired the Saab 9.5 Wagon, as you saw in the goodbye part of this video. But this is the new one. This is a blue 2014 Subaru Forester. Probably the last car I'll ever be bought by my parents. I'm very fortunate to even have that happen. I thought in my lifetime I'd never have a new car. I'd be buying used cars for a long time. But I'm very, very happy with this car. It is very nice so far. I love the color. The rims are a little bit boring, but it comes with Yokohama tires, which are good tires. It's a crossover form factor car, which I really like. It's like a small SUV basically. And at the same time, this car is very efficient. It's not an SUV that just guzzles gas for breakfast, so you don't have to go to the pump every 5 minutes and waste a ton of money and just pour a bunch of money into your gas tank. It's just a sharp-looking car. I really like it. I got the limited model with leather seats, so that's really all I added to it. It's the limited model, if you guys want to look that up. It's just a really nice-looking car. I really like it. The handling feels very much like the Saab did. Really easy to turn. It's just it takes the same amount of effort to turn as it did in the Saab, which feels really good. Car has plenty of space. Here's the back of it here. So you can see it's the Forester. It's got that little trim piece down there for the trunk. But watch this. Motorized trunk. It opens by itself, and it also closes. That alone makes the Saab feel ancient. It's pretty nice. I really like this car. It has LEDs in the mirrors, so you can see in the dark, which is kind of nice. Here's the inside. Nice leather seats. The problem with cloth seats is that they start to smell after a while. According to my mother, they just start to smell, so it's a good idea to get leather seats if you can. Steering wheel. Plenty of controls. I opted not to get the nav head unit. I got this Clarion head unit instead, which is stock with it, which is a really nice one. That'll get its own video at some point. Get a display up there. You get meters, real meters for your tachometer and your speedometer. Mirror that sort of auto senses stuff. Climate controls down here. And my favorite part, iPod integration and an aux jack. One thing my Saab didn't have. There's your USB and aux down there. Also gets a nice compartment down here. Overall, I really, really like this car so far. It just has a lot of really nice perks. I also have a little sunglass thing up here, which I really like. And look at this sunroof. Look how big it is. This is ridiculously big. Not that I'm ever going to use that, but it's huge. But yes, I get space in the back as well. Just enough to do what I need to do. It's very nice. The one thing I have to complain about Look how little gloves box space I get. I have a GPS over here and the whole manual's over here. This manual needs to come out because all that crap is just in the way. Because the manual is gigantic. There, I have more space now. Excellent. But so far, you know, I'm not a huge car person. I don't know a lot about it, but it's some pretty nice stuff. One thing I thought was weird is that the to open the gas, you go down here and you pull this lever. So, very strange. Might as well take a look in the back here. Pretty good amount of space back here. Seats fold down just by pulling up on this, which is really nice. I got all this netting and stuff in the back. I get the smallest armrest in the world. But it has cup holders, so that's nice. I'm not going to be using that armrest anyway. I'm not riding in the back of this. One thing I did notice is there's nothing here. Nothing whatsoever. So there's no like rear controls or anything like that. It just kind of is what it is. There's my manual. I took it out of the glove box because it was just way too bulky and huge. And I don't read the manual much of cars anyway because I just learn them by failing around. Let's take a look in the trunk again. Oh yeah, that's the backup camera that I forgot to mention. This thing has a backup camera as well. There's the blanket I've used in all the cars I've had. You get these net bag things back here. Lights as well, which is kind of nice. Looks like a cigarette lighter. No, that's a hook. That's the cigarette lighter. 12-volt thing right there. Yeah, I don't think you can see that well, but it's there. Let's check out under the hood. See if I can find where the hood thing is. It's right here, I think. Yeah, it's right there. So let's take a look under the hood here. I haven't looked under the hood yet, so this is new for me as well. Alright, where's the thing? Whoa, loud hinges. Alright, wow. Lots of black under here. Look at all that. I like that thing, whatever that is. It just looks cool. Well, as you can see, quite a lot of belts and things under here that you can see compared to the Saab. I have no clue what that is. Looks like there's windshield wiper fluid there. Coolant there. That looks like the battery. Sold by Subaru of America, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Nice. So, what's in this car? It has the boxer engine that Subaru is so famous for, and it's quite powerful for a 4-cylinder engine, I have to say. And it's also very efficient. When you accelerate from a stop, you get a little bit of a when you hit that pedal. But as you start to accelerate into higher speeds, you have to hit the gas a little bit more. I suspect the turbocharged model, that'd be different, but on this one, it's just kind of the way it is. I thought I'd give you a look under the hood here. That's the lever you pull to open the hood there. So, there you have it. Close that there. I also got a few other things. Put these in the glove box here. I bought a new GPS. Got one of these Garmin Nuvi things. Forget what model it is, but it's one of the 4.3-inch ones. And I got a weight mount for it as well, so I can just stick it up there. I also got a CD mount, a CD slot mount, so that I can film videos in here without having to hold the camera like this the whole time, which is just dangerous. I've done that before and I didn't like it, so I stopped doing it after a while. So I'm going to try using the CD slot mount. and film videos that way. And that's how we'll go for a drive. Hey guys, front-facing camera of my phone now. So let's take a ride in this car. Let me open the garage door. Oh boy. So I'll just drive around and talk about how the car feels to me. I hate the seatbelt sometimes. I think it's all wrapped around. Oh yeah, I might as well mention, this is what the key looks like. Pretty simple key. Nothing special. It also, unlike the Saab, it actually mounts on the right side of the steering wheel. Or you put the key in on the right side of the steering wheel instead of down the console, so that's kind of nice. So, let's go. Oh baby. Just make sure I don't have the mirror on the side. Da, 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 da. Alright. Don't hit the cat either. Yeah. Let's do this thing. Shifted into drive and just went bump like that. Transmission. Camera app just died. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, the CD slot mount seems to be good. I like it. Hopefully there's not too much road noise coming through. There's the turn signal. It's not that annoying, actually. Hear that engine. That engine has a nice sound. So, I've been driving. I got this car about a week or two ago. After the Saab had decided that it needed more money. It was going to happen. This car was going to happen anyway, but that the Saab doing that kind of prematurely put it in the coffin for us, because it wasn't worth spending $1,000 in parts for a car that was going to be traded in to get this one anyway. So that's basically what happened there. Hopefully you can hear me and there's not too much road noise. So, oh, so I gotta get a little too far. So what happened is we went to the Subaru dealer, and they actually took the Saab Wagon and were selling it as is from the trade, which is kind of nice. I like seeing. That car's not going to a scrapyard or anything. It's being sold as is, and I really like that. I really like Rafferty Subaru here in Pennsylvania for that. You guys are awesome. So, what do I think of this car so far? Well, there are little things you have to get used to. For example, the Japanese with the stalks on your steering wheel, they do everything a little bit backwards. You press up to just do a little bit of a windshield wipe, and you go down for everything else. Things are a little bit different. Subtle things like that. The radio that this thing is mounted to is so much better than the Saab. It's not even funny. I'm actually more happy with I've been more excited about the radio than I was about the whole car, because the radio in the Saab was just starting to drive me crazy. Every tape adapter I put in there would make a lot of noise, and I'd have issues and hum, things like that. This head unit is just 10 times better. It doesn't have tape, but that's okay, because it has aux in, which I've really wanted. I like the iPod integration. I can tune up and down with my steering wheel, things like that. And it has HD radio, so I can listen to my favorite 80s station, which is pretty nice. What else can I say about this thing? Again, I really like the form factor. It seems to fit very well with me. Since I like computers and hauling stuff around, a crossover seems like the perfect medium between an efficient car and a big car. It's just nice, man. I really like this. Again, I thought I'd never own a new car in my lifetime, so I'm fortunate to have the dad that I have. He's a very, very generous guy. They figured that this is the last car they'll buy me. I'll be able to keep this for 10 years, and stuff like that. It was longevity was the idea here. I thought I'd be getting a used one, to be totally honest with you, and then this was kind of a big surprise. I feel like such a rich asshole. But whatever. I actually unlike a lot of the rich kids around here, I actually appreciate the stuff I get and know that I'm going to have to work for it later in life, unlike a lot of people who think they just kind of deserve it. I'm staring at horse butts right now. Hi, horse butts, how you doing? The joys of driving on the road. One thing I will say about this car is that the pedals feel, this is the first time driving anything other than a Saab permanently, is that the pedals feel like they're shifted a little bit to the left compared to the Saab, so getting used to the brake pedal being there kind of strains my leg a little bit. I don't know if anybody, when they switched from their first car to their next car, if it was a different brand, if it felt that way for you guys. Let me know if it does, if it has for you guys. I'd be interested to know. Oh good, the horse guy's turning. What else can I say here? I like the display that's behind the camera here. It shows you the climate control stuff. It shows you your average gas mileage. It shows you, actually it shows you like statistics of your gas mileage, which is kind of cool. Temperature outside, it's 46 degrees outside right now. Yet it's really nice and sunny, so that's pretty nice. It shows you an analog clock that's digital at the same time, which is weird. It's like one of those, it's like when you put an analog clock on a display. It's not a real one, but it looks like it. Climate control system is good. I've got seat heaters. I have X-Force, which I think is for like mudding and things like that, which I'm not going to be doing with this car. I treat my cars like A to B cars because that's all they really ever do is just go from one place to another. I'm not, like a nut or anything like that. I'm not fanatical about my car and driving it and things like that. I just really like having it so that I can get place to place. And in the area I live in, you need a car to do anything because nothing is in walking distance. Absolutely nothing. So it's essential to have one around here, even if it's on its last leg. It's still a car, But I'm very, very, very fortunate to have this brand new Subaru. And the thing is, I've wanted a blue Subaru since I was a kid. When I first picked up Gran Turismo for the PlayStation and saw the Subaru Impreza or WRX, one of the two, it was a two-door coupe in rally blue with gold hubcaps. It was the late 90s, and that stuff was awesome. It was just beautiful. I've wanted one ever since I saw that, and now that I have a blue Subaru, I'm happy. Yay. This car, I will say, coming from a Saab 9.5, was very, very easy to get used to. Like, the moment I stepped in this car, after like 15 minutes, used to it, which is fantastic for me because I don't have to learn a whole new car again. The way it turns feels just like the Saab did, very responsive. And I like responsive steering. It just, you can be precise with very little movement when you do that. So, I don't know much about cars, so I can't say much for the specs and all that stuff, but I really like the way this drives. It drives better than my mom's 2012 Outback, much better than that. The handling is better. They have the same engine, but the handling is so much better on this one. It's not even funny. Look how washed out my face is. Wow. That sun. It does have a digital gas meter, which I'm not a huge fan of, but on this one it's easy to read, so it's really not a huge deal. I prefer analog meters in cars, just on principle. They're just easier to look at, I think, and you can just tell what you're looking at like that. When I drove the red Prius for a while as a rental when I had that accident last year, I did not like the digital speedometer at all. I hated it because it just didn't look. It didn't feel natural to me. I don't like that. I like the analog meters through and through. But my impressions of this car so far are very positive. I really like it. The radio is fantastic. The handling is fantastic. The acceleration, the acceleration feels a lot different than the Saab does because this car is also all-wheel drive. So it'll handle itself better in the snow, and that's one of the main reasons we went with a Subaru and to get an all-wheel drive car is just because it's a better drivetrain for driving around these parts because we get ice and snow and stuff around here, and that's a lot of fun to drive in a front-wheel drive car. Let me tell you, you get more traction and more stability with a car like this than you would with a front or rear-wheel drive car. So generally, that's a good thing. This car with the trade-in was $26K, basically, which is pretty good which is pretty cheap compared to other cars. I've seen some that I saw a Jeep Cherokee that goes for like $62K, which is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous price for a car. $26K is perfectly reasonable, I think. The base price for these is $22K, around there. So they're not that expensive at all. They're nice. They're nice cars. I really like these. You get a lot for your money. Subarus have always been built really well, but they've gotten a lot fancier over the years, and this one is quite fancy, I have to say. It's fancy, but it's not like overzealous, and I really like that. It's just fancy enough to make it feel like you're driving a modern car, and that I think that's where Subaru really has it right. You get daytime running lights as well. I forgot to mention that. One thing I thought was interesting is the headlight control is on the turn signal stalk, which is strange. It's always been on like the side of the it's always been sort of on the dashboard over to the left in past experience driving cars. So I thought that was interesting. Like I said, the Japanese do little things a little bit differently, but it's nothing that's that hard to get used to. So pretty happy with this. It's a nice car, there's just not much to say other than it's a nice car and it drives well and it has a good radio. I've only had it for a little while, so that's all I can say. I haven't driven it in the snow yet. I've driven it the first day I had it. I drove it in the rain actually, so I got to test out the windshield wipers, and that's how I got used to the whole backwards thing that Japan does with their their cars with the windshield stalks and all that stuff. So far, I really like this car. I would recommend this to anybody. Subaru makes very, very nice cars. So if you're going to go with a car from the Japanese market, I can definitely, from experience, recommend these Subarus because they're very nice. I also hear they're very reliable. These things are built to last about 12 years. So you will get a long life out of these cars. A very long life. And that's one of the other main reasons we got this car, because of that. It's a great car. I would recommend this to anybody. Anybody can drive this car. Unless, of course, you need more space in the back and the crossover form factor doesn't work for you. But I think, generally, this is a really good car. And I would definitely recommend it to a friends or family. In fact, my dad's next car, instead of getting another Land Rover, which I don't know why he keeps buying those, because they're kind of status cars instead of real utilitarian cars like these these are. Saabs weren't that way either, but hey, there's a Scion XB behind me. Nice. But yeah, even my dad is saying, with how nice these cars are, he's probably going to get a Subaru next instead of getting another Land Rover, because just Land Rovers get expensive once they're out of warranty. He is an LR4 right now, which I don't like Land Rovers at all. They tend to have weird problems. They get expensive as when you don't have a warranty anymore. They get and when you get towards that 100,000 mile mark, when cars start to really ask for parts a lot. Yeah, they just get really expensive, and that's why my dad usually gets rid of his cars around the 100,000 mile mark, because they just get too expensive to maintain. I mean, you can always get an extended warranty or something, but whatever. That's what we got with the original Saab I had. We got an extended warranty, so. Stop it. When I pulled out of the lot, this car had 40 miles on it, because I had to ship it from New Jersey. But 40 miles. It just feels weird. I look down now, I have 408. So it's just weird to see a car's mileage counter be that low and that young. It's kind of cool. It's pretty nice. But anyway, enough rambling about this car. Conclusion. Well, there's really not a whole lot to say because I haven't had the car that long, but my impressions so far are extremely positive. This car has excellent handling. It feels like it's got some power behind it. It's not a V8 by any stretch of the imagination, but it really does have some good power behind it. I really like the form factor of this car. It seems a perfect sort of medium between. Why is this guy going so slow? It seems like it's the perfect medium between an SUV and a station wagon. It's sort of in between that, and I really like that form factor. It's a great car for that. I'm sure I'll be able to haul bigger stuff from Goodwill if I do in the future, like furniture I won't have to stick in the back like I did in the Saab. It's sad to see that Saab go, but you know what? After getting this car, whatever. This is a new chapter that I'm very happy about, simply because it's been an ambition of mine to have a Subaru for a long time, and that has come to pass. But yeah, in conclusion, the car feels great to drive. It was very easy to get used to from the Saab. The handling is very responsive and very good. And I've really enjoyed it so far. Over the next 8, 10, 12 years, I'm sure this will be a very nice car to drive, and I'll enjoy it for quite some time. Hopefully it will last 12 years that they say it will. If it does, I'll probably have it that long, unless there's some mysterious problems with it. So there you have it, guys. Look for future videos on specific points on this car. This is just sort of a general impression of it. But later on I'll do videos on the radio's head unit, possibly on how it handles in the snow. Just points here and there I want to make, I'll make future videos on. But this is just sort of an introduction to the new car. And I'm very fortunate and happy to have this car. I'm very thankful and very appreciative that I was able to even have this in the first place. I thought I'd be getting an older one, so this is a nice surprise. Thanks, Dad, you're the best. Yeah, look for future videos on the head unit. I think the head unit's probably the first video I'm going to do, since, that's the part I was most enthusiastic about, is the radio. So, look for future videos on that. And for right now, I'm going to sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope you guys enjoyed meeting the new Forester. Let me know what you guys think of Subaru in general, and if any of you guys have had experience driving them in the past, and what your thoughts are on Subarus and even Foresters, specific models. I'd like to know what you guys think of Subaru as cars. Personally, I've liked them for a long time, and now that I'm driving one, I like them even more. So, definitely let me know what your thoughts are on this thing. So, yeah. There you have it, guys. Look for videos in the future. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao. Alright, let's park this thing.